It's like we've always talked about building things atom by atom, right? Like it's always been this sci-fi dream.
Yeah.
Well, scientists in Japan, they just took like a huge step towards making that a reality.
Right.
So they built the world's smallest molecular machine.
Wow.
And it's got the potential to like revolutionize everything from medicine to manufacturing.
It really is groundbreaking, and it's fascinating how they manage to overcome like one of the biggest challenges in nanotechnology.
Okay.
Which is stabilizing molecules at the atomic level.
So let's unpack this a little bit for those of us who haven't been, brushing up on our molecular engineering lately.
Sure.
What exactly are we talking about here?
It all starts with this molecule called ferrocene.
Okay.
So picture a tiny drum with a single iron atom nestled between two rings of carbon atoms. Simple, right?
Yeah.
But this little molecule won a Nobel Prize back in 1973.
A Nobel Prize for a tiny drum?
Okay.
I'm intrigued. What's so special about ferrocene?
The key is its unique ability to convert electrical energy into motion.
Okay.
When you change the electrical charge of that iron atom, the carbon rings start to rotate.
Oh, wow.
It's like a tiny motor powered by electricity.
So we've got this tiny motor molecule.
Yeah.
How do you actually build something with it? I mean, that seems like trying to build a car engine out of individual atoms.
Exactly. And that's been like the major roadblock with ferrocene.
Okay.
It's notoriously difficult to work with because it tends to break down when you try to place it on a surface.
Oh.
So imagine trying to build a machine when your parts keep falling apart.
Right, yeah, like that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some clever workaround here.
Yeah.
How did they manage to stabilize this finicky molecule?
So this is where the Japanese research team really innovated.
Okay.
They used a special coating
made
of molecules called crown ethers. Think of it as a protective shield that surrounds the ferrocene. It prevents it from touching the surface and decomposing.
So they basically created a tiny molecular safe space for this little engine.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's pretty ingenious.
And the amazing thing is, this is the first time anyone has been able to achieve this kind of stability with ferrocene.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
But how do they actually control the movement of this thing? I mean, are we talking about microscopic joysticks here?
Not quite.
Okay.
They use a tiny probe.
Okay.
Almost like an incredibly small needle to apply a specific voltage to the ferrocene molecule.
Okay.
And this triggers a sliding motion. Remember how we said the carbon rings rotate when you change the charge of the iron atom?
Yeah.
Well, that rotation actually propels the entire molecule across the surface.
So it's like using electricity to steer this little molecular machine.
Exactly.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But can it only move in one direction, or can they actually control its movement with some precision?
That's the beauty of it. The motion is entirely reversible.
Oh.
Remove the voltage, and the molecule slides back to its original position.
So it's like having complete control at the atomic level.
Yeah.
All right, we've got this tiny steerable molecular machine.
Right.
What's next?
Right.
Where does this all fit into the bigger picture?
Well, that's what we're going to dive into next.
Okay.
This is not just about creating cool, tiny gadgets.
Right.
This breakthrough opens up a world of possibilities.
Yeah.
In fields like medicine, materials, science, and even computing.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So think about it this way. Like, we've always built things by, starting big and getting smaller.
Right.
But with this technology, we can, build from the bottom up, assembling things atom by atom.
It's like the ultimate Lego set, only we're playing with the building blocks of the universe.
Right.
But how do we even begin to imagine the possibilities?
Okay.
What could this tech actually be used for?
Well, let's start with medicine.
Okay.
Imagine a world where we can deliver drugs directly to specific cells in the body, minimizing side effects,
Right.
and maximizing effectiveness.
Okay.
No more carpet bombing the body with chemo.
Wow.
We're talking laser-focused treatments.
That would be a game changer, especially for folks battling diseases like cancer.
Yeah.
It's like having a microscopic surgeon operating at the cellular level.
Exactly, and it's not just limited to treating diseases.
Okay.
This technology could also be used to repair damaged tissues, create artificial organs,
Wow.
and even enhance our bodies in ways we haven't even imagined yet.
Okay, now we're talking transhumanism and the future of evolution.
Right.
But let's rein it back in for a second.
Okay.
What about those smart materials you mentioned earlier? What makes them so smart?
Imagine Materials that can change their properties like on demand, responding to external signals like temperature
Okay.
or light.
Oh, wow.
We could have self-healing structures,
Oh.
adaptive camouflage, even clothing that changes color to match your mood.
So we're talking about a world where buildings can repair themselves. Airplanes can adapt to changing weather conditions, and fashion becomes truly interactive.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And then there's the potential impact on computing.
Okay.
As we reach the limits of traditional silicon-based transistors,
Right.
molecular machines could be the key to unlocking the next generation of computing power. We're talking about computers that are exponentially faster and more efficient than anything we have today.
Quantum computers built with molecular machines.
Yeah.
That sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
It does a little bit.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Correct.
This is all incredibly exciting, but what are some of the challenges that they're facing?
Well, for one thing, controlling individual molecules requires incredible precision.
Yeah.
And sophisticated tools. It's not like we can just grab a pair of tweezers and start snapping these things together.
Right.
It's a delicate and complex process.
So it's not exactly plug-and-play technology.
No, it's not.
What are some of the other hurdles they need to overcome?
Another major challenge is scalability.
Okay.
Right now, we're talking about building these machines one molecule at a time.
Yeah.
To make this technology commercially viable, we need to figure out how to mass produce these machines and integrate them into existing manufacturing processes.
It's like going from building a model car in your garage to setting up a fully automated assembly line.
Exactly.
That's a big leap.
It is a big leap. And it's going to take time.
Yeah.
Innovation and collaboration across different scientific disciplines to make it happen.
Right.
But the potential rewards are so vast, I think it's a challenge worth pursuing.
So we've covered like all this incredible potential of these molecular machines, right?
Right.
From, like revolutionizing medicine to creating self-healing structures and like all this crazy stuff. But in all this excitement, it's important to remember, like we're talking about manipulating the very building blocks of matter.
Yeah.
That kind of power.
It does.
Has to come with some serious considerations.
You're absolutely right. As with any powerful technology, there's always the risk of unintended consequences. We need to be thoughtful and proceed with caution.
Yeah.
Especially when we're dealing with something as fundamental as the structure of matter.
So what are some of the potential pitfalls we need to be aware of as this technology develops?
Well, one area of concern is the environmental impact.
Okay.
We need to understand how these molecular machines might interact with ecosystems if they were to be released into the environment.
Yeah.
What happens if they start self-replicating?
Right.
Or interacting with organisms in unexpected ways?
Yeah.
These are questions we need to answer before we start deploying this technology on a large scale.
It's like introducing a new species
Right.
into an ecosystem, right?
Exactly.
We need to make sure we're not like disrupting the delicate balance of nature.
Right.
Are there other concerns beyond the environmental impact?
Absolutely. We also need to think about the potential for misuse.
Okay.
Could this technology be used to create new and more powerful weapons? Could it be used for surveillance purposes that infringe on privacy?
Yeah.
These are scenarios we need to consider and safeguard against.
It sounds like we need to strike a balance
We do.
between fostering innovation and ensuring responsible development.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't let fear stifle scientific progress.
Right.
But we also can't afford to be naive
Right.
about the potential downsides.
I think that's a key point. It's about having open and honest conversations
Yeah.
about the potential benefits and risks of this technology. Scientists, policymakers, ethicists, the public,
Right.
they need to come together
Yeah.
to discuss these issues and establish clear guidelines for the development and use of molecular machines.
It's like creating a roadmap for responsible innovation, right?
Yeah.
Making sure we're not just blindly rushing ahead without considering the potential consequences. Ultimately, we all have a stake in shaping the future of this technology.
And that's what makes this so fascinating. We're not just talking about scientific advancements.
Right.
We're talking about shaping the future of our world.
Yeah.
Molecular machines have the potential to revolutionize countless aspects of our lives. But it's up to us to ensure that this revolution is a positive one.
This has been a truly mind-expanding deep dive.
It has.
Into the world of molecular machines.
Yeah.
We've gone from the intricate workings of a single molecule to the potential for world-changing applications and the ethical considerations that come with such power.
It's a powerful reminder that science is not just about discovery.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the impact of those discoveries on society and ensuring that we use our knowledge wisely.
And on that note, we want to leave you with a final thought.
Okay.
As we move forward into this new era of molecular engineering, what role do you want to play? What are your hopes and concerns about this technology? We encourage you to continue exploring, questioning, and engaging in the conversation about the future we're building together.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.